Alright, we're doing a review on Suicide Squad. Uh, this movie is a mess. My ex-girlfriend, she really liked this movie. She's a big Harley Quinn fan. Uh, and she really likes this movie. But for me, this is a movie you've got to leave your brain at the door for because none of it makes any sense. All the characters are worthless, have no reason to be here. Half of them are just there to stand there and say things like, yeah, okay, yeah. What the hell is this? Seriously, how? And you have problems with this movie, like Jared Leto. Everybody talking about how crazy he was on set, how he was sending people dead fish and all kinds of crazy stuff. Really hyping up the Joker being in this movie and all that. And then when you finally see the Joker in this movie, it's like, what the hell is this? What is this? This is the worst Joker, and you don't really get a sense of what this Joker's identity is. It's obvious he loves Harley Quinn, but Joker doesn't love Harley Quinn. This is a whole very misleading thing. Their whole relationship is toxic, abusive. He manipulated her, and made her a psychopath. I mean, she was a professional, and he twisted her mind so much that she just went bonkers. They don't really capture the toxicity of the relationship. Uh, there's a lot of problems with this movie. A lot of problems. The first probably 45 minutes of it is like largely set up. They set up all these characters. Amanda Waller, she comes in there like, I had this idea for a team in the event that Superman went rogue or something like this. But at this point in time, Superman's dead. Uh, and how she gets sanctioned and government funding when she reveals like the members she wants, which is to solve, you know, okay, she's got one person that's actually useful, the Enchantress in here. Uh, and the Enchantress is the one that goes rogue, the one that they have to take down. She goes and starts wiping out this whole city and planning to take it over and open this gateway to a dark dimension and get your portal in the sky trope cliche. Uh, a bunch of a generic army, and her solution is to go ahead and assemble the rest of the team, which consists of Harley Quinn, who used to be a pretty intelligent woman, and now she's just a blonde bimbo that comes off like trailer park trash and dresses like a trailer park trash, like a slut. Uh, Instead of like in her comic book attire and stuff, which you think they'd want to use to conceal her identity. You got characters like Captain Boomerang, who is largely useless. I mean, in the Suicide Squad comic, they utilize him well based off his skill set, and you could have done that. I mean, Captain Boomerang is a coward, so they did get that accurately, but in the comics and stuff, he does take on Flash, and he does do some pretty risky stuff that isn't just flat out cowardice. In here, he largely does nothing the entire time, and you wonder why he's even here. He's a drunk Australian that cannot do nothing at all. He throws a boomerang and it does nothing, and he's like, "Well, I tried." Uh, Beyond Captain Boomerang, you have Slipknot, which gets killed pretty quick in this movie, and that's pretty accurate to the comics. Slipknot is somebody who tries to run away and gets like his head blown off, if I remember correctly. He dies very quickly in the comics, like doesn't get too far. So that's fine, that's fair. Um, then you have characters like Killer Croc in here. and all he really does is say, "Yeah, okay." Up until like the very end of the movie, he does something like dangerous that's a willingness to sacrifice himself to save other people. That's completely out of character for Killer Croc. I don't like this reptilian looking Killer Croc and the way he looks more like a dinosaur these days in the comics, pretty much the equivalent of lizard. I prefer the 90s animated series Killer Croc where, his skin's all bumpy and he's got this gray tone and instead of being a character you can sympathize with, he's a complete psychopath that's like, well, I almost beat Batman once. Yeah, I hit him in the head with a rock. And in that animated series, like, he breaks free from prison, he runs off, he manipulates these circus folk into thinking he's one of them, and he's been persecuted by society until they find out that he just wants to steal all the money they've been saving up, and he wants to kill Batman like a psychopath, trapping him in a lion's cage and try to shoot him at point blank range with a rifle or a shotgun. I can't remember which it was, but and he was laughing about it. That's the Killer Croc I like. That's the Killer Croc I want. A psychopath, complete psychopath with no regard for anybody else. That is, and this gray skin tone, the more realistic like look instead of this overt dinosaur looking thing, uh, lizard. Uh, and in here, he was largely useless. He served no purpose to the entire film. He was just there to fill out the roster. I mean, the majority of the movie is Harley Quinn and Deadshot. Honestly, like that, they get all the screen time, all the character like development and important moments, and you have other characters in here like Diablo, who I'm not familiar with at all. Uh, he's like a pacifist now, and he doesn't want to commit violence at all, and he refuses to do anything up until like the very end of the movie. And why was he selected if like he's against violence, he's against using his powers? Why select him? That's dumb. Uh, and Deadshot, I get him. He's human. Like most of these characters are all human, virtually, and you're pitting them against a magical threat that SWAT teams and armies can't take down. But you're choosing a girl with a baseball bat, a professional assassin, a drunk Australian who throws boomerangs, and he's a failed bank robber, and Slipknot, a guy who's good with ropes and climbing, uh, nooses. Shit. What the hell? What was the thought process into this movie? Seriously. And the movie itself, it's all choppy and all over the place. You can tell obvious cuts here. Just, poor CGI. I don't like to critique CGI too much, so I'm not gonna do that. But just character motivations, actions, and all that. None of it really matches up. None of it makes sense at all in the context of the reality it's trying to live in. Uh, let's like Deadshot. Deadshot is a character that has little to no regard for anybody's life at all in the comics. Yet he spares Harley Quinn, even when Amanda Waller says, "Hey, shoot her down and pretty much I can't remember if it was your kid go to college or you walk free or maybe it was both. I can't remember exactly, but he chooses to not shoot her when she's escaping on that helicopter with Joker, and it's completely out of character for him to not shoot her. The problem with this movie is that all these people barely meet, and they're all psychopaths. They all know each other are bad people, yet he's choosing to spare this crazy woman who's murderous and all kinds of things instead of, his freedom or his kid's future. He's completely ridiculous. That's not something Deadshot would do. Uh, it seems like, it really seems to me like they wanted to combine who Bronze Tiger is, which is a character, original Suicide Squad character that has a moral compass. He used to be a member of the League of Assassins. He has a moral compass. He's actually a black guy, unlike Deadshot, who's supposed to be a white guy. But it's and he's in the Will Smith once said that no, he wouldn't play Superman. He turned down the role of Superman because he said you don't play white people's heroes. Well, guess what? Deadshot's a white dude, so what just happened there? I guess you're not familiar with the comic book character, or maybe it's because he's a villain. I don't know, but I just hated their Deadshot. The costume was perfect, but when Will Smith plays a character, it's automatically Will Smith. He's only one type of dude. He's typecast completely. He is Will Smith, and it makes that perfectly clear with how little he actually wears the Deadshot mask, which is largely disappointing and senseless. He's supposed to be an assassin who keeps his identity concealed, but early into the movie, like when it's talking about all the origins and introductions, he goes to the rooftop, goes to shoot somebody. Uh, he either pulls off his mask to do it, or right after he shoots them, he pulls on his mask when he's running away, or he pulled off. I can't remember which order it is in, but it's not something an assassin, a professional assassin, would do if they have a mask to begin with. Anyways, I mean, his character was very skilled and stuff in this movie and stuff, but his character was completely out of character for the entire movie. It was nothing like the way Deadshot should be. Um, and beyond that, other characters in this movie, and see, it would have made more sense to have Bronze Tiger in here, especially since characters like Killer Croc serve absolutely no purpose. They're just there as like stand-ins. Like, hey, I'm here. I'm a big name character in DC Comics. Yeah, draw your attention to the movie yet? But other than that, uh, just the structure of the movie is sloppy and all over the place, and even with the stuff that I've seen that was cut, it added no more depth or substance to the movie. Really, yeah, it fleshed out like the Joker and Harley Quinn relationship, but it didn't do nothing. One thing I actually thought was cool about this movie is when Batman is seen in this movie, doing Batman stuff like coming at their Deadshot when he's in his civilian clothes with his daughter. That whole I thought that was pretty cool because it made this like a lived-in universe, where all these characters actually exist, and that was cool. Amanda Waller was pretty out there. Amanda Waller's always a pretty dark character. Uh, in here, though, she does a lot of senseless things like guns down a room full of government agents and just says that they didn't have clearance to be there. That's why she did it. But she knew that up front. Why the hell were they there? Was it an act of desperation or something? Like, oh, I need guys to help me with something because you're the only guys left here, or what? What was the deal? How are any of these guys more qualified than SWAT teams and government agents to be here, to be your last hope to come and stop Enchantress? It's just so many things not right. Not right at all. Katana. Katana's in the movie. She looks great. She looks like Katana. And that you completely forget she's even there. The majority of the time, like, I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot she was right. Yeah, she's in here. Yeah. I mean, you can't, half the time, it's hard to recognize that these other characters are even present. They're even here at all. If they weren't doing things like refusing to do things, you wouldn't be reminded that they are there. Uh, you could have created a really great Suicide Squad movie with a really fleshed out like plot where they do things that they do in the comic books, like take down terrorist organizations and stuff. And you didn't do that, did you? There could have been several. You could have done several cool things that I can think of off the top of my head, like, you know, since Superman's supposedly dead at this point in time, have them go off to Metropolis and investigate a situation where a terrorist organization has hands on alien weapons and they're attacking the city, and you got to find out where they got those weapons from, and then you got to have characters infiltrate their ranks to try to like infiltrate some secret auction where like they get criminals are purchasing weapons from alien weaponry from Apocalypse, and all that could have, you know, tied into like the Justice League shit well. But you didn't do that. No, what you did here is do a lot of stupid things, like have Will Smith say things like, damn, and we're supposed to be the bad guys. You know, they make Amanda Waller like really evil to make the bad guys less evil and have them more likable. Uh, mm-mm. All right, I had to do a Suicide Squad jump cut, but yeah, and that's the kind of things you see in that film. Anyways, this movie should have been more like a Mission Impossible style. You know, have the Suicide Squad going after a terrorist cell, but it's all flash and no substance. It's all decoration. It's all a Hot Topic music video. It's all idiotic. You got this tatted up Joker with the blatantly obvious ha ha point outs. Look at me, I'm the Joker. Look at me, I'm the Joker. And you got them all changed up with the grill and the nightclub thing, and he wants to save Harley Quinn. He wears a SWAT suit that says like Joker on it or something, man. Oh man, man. In here, I mean, and the tagline really it doesn't make sense. It's like in the event that Superman goes rogue, there was this idea for a team. But this idea for a team was all people that are more qualified to try to take down Batman as a whole, and probably still fell. So, um, and they just made Harley Quinn so much just look like a blonde bimbo. It would have been nice if they gave her some credibility with her costume, which and have Deadshot actually wear his mask instead of running around just being Will Smith for the sake of being Will Smith. Most of these characters in this movie, it's just Rick Flag has no importance. He's not the guy. He's in the comic books having known for getting all these crazy misfits for working together and working together well. He's just in here, and because he's not Harley Quinn or Will Smith, he doesn't get any. He doesn't lead this team. Harley Quinn and Will Smith lead this team. Well, Will Smith leads this team. Um, this movie really sucks. I can't believe that a lot of people like it. I can't believe that a lot of people actually say that Oh yeah, it's illogical and it's flawed and stuff, but it's still good. It's not good. It's just flashy, in your face. Leave your brain at the door if you have one. Oh man, this movie. This movie. I'm pretty sure most of the people, almost anybody, can make a better script than this that is more respectful to the comics. Yay. Suicide Squad. You want to see a real Suicide Squad? Go watch Star Wars Rogue One. That's a Suicide Squad movie. That's a Suicide Squad movie. But you know, I could go on and on about how much I dislike this movie, how much I disagree with everything in this movie. The one thing I do like who they cast as Harley Quinn. Uh I did like that Batman showed up in here, even if it was just briefly. Let's see, I didn't really like Enchantress because she was just doing some hula girl thing. Yeah, I didn't like how all these people like Harley Quinn and them acted like they were so close to get so emotionally bonded over this very short period of time, and that oh, it's just they feel so much for each other. They care so much for each other. What the hell? Amanda Waller was Amanda Waller was pretty good though. But having Will Smith constantly say things like, "What are we, some kind of Suicide Squad?" Uh, and I thought we were the bad guys. So Amanda Waller was good. You know, the Harley Quinn was good, despite the material she got was garbage. Batman showing up, that was good, but the movie's all flash and no substance. So comment, like, subscribe, share your opinion, give me your thoughts. Check out my GoFundMe link and my PayPal link. I'm not monetized if you want to support my channel. Thank you. Thanks for viewing. Stay awesome. Rock on.